Welcome to Recovery Report Live. I'm Dan Odess, CEO and founder of GlobalPro, here reporting to you from my office as I watch what is unfolding from the traumatic damages caused by Hurricane Francine. It hit as a Category 2, packing wind speeds around 100 miles per hour, as been reported so far. But as we have learned from past storms, these things can change. But I'm monitoring it, and as well as the folks on the ground, helping as much as we possibly can with coordination efforts and what's to come as a major relief effort for much of the area in which it impacted. And that area which it impacted is quite large. We saw tremendous storms, even including in South Florida area, because of this storm's widespread wind field, as well as its immediate strength and conditions right there in the Louisiana when it hit and made landfall. So we want to track these things. Initial projections obviously are significant in damages. There's widespread flooding, thousands without power. We are here to help as much as we can for all the residents, the local municipalities, or anyone that may need further information as they move towards the recovery efforts. And those have started. Obviously, the initial focus following any major storm has to be on relief, making sure that everyone is safe, has what they need, your basic needs, whether it's food and water and things like that. GlobalPro for over 13 years has been right there, boots on the ground, in the midst of all of the recovery efforts throughout the country. Whenever a storm like this has happened or impacted an area, it has been at the core of what we do here at GlobalPro, helping and making sure that community is a big part of the culture here at GlobalPro. So we want to make sure that if you need something, you need some guidance or assistance, again, whether it's a local municipality, business owner, homeowner, whatever it may be, a church, a synagogue that's been impacted by this disastrous storm, please let us know what we can do. Reach out to us. Check us out online at globalpro.com. Call us, 855-487-7475. I'm going to make sure all that information is obviously down below in the description, as well as in the comments section, so that you guys can have that information available to us, to you, so that we can help you through these tough times. But as much as I like to only focus on the storm, there's so many other areas of interest that are out there. We are in the latter part of the storm season, so staying prepared, staying vigilant in your preparation is key to your resiliency. And that's something we preach and talk about all the time. That persistent nature and wanting to be ready no matter what is what helps so many businesses and community associations and homeowners avoid these tragic situations. Now, we understand that the obviously focus after and beyond the recovery efforts, the next phase of that will be on the physical damages to your property, to your businesses. But right now, we honestly want to make sure that you have what you need as it relates to the health, life, and safety of your community. It's of paramount importance, and why we constantly preach this idea of resiliency and persistence in your preparation. The ready phase of our signature process, Ready, Recover, Rebuild, is what we talk about all the time for situations like this. So if you know of anyone impacted in this area, they need assistance right now with humanitarian efforts, whatever else, let us know. We can put you in contact with local FEMA, as well as other government agencies, and as well as private agencies that are boots on the ground, doing everything they can, just like GlobalPro has done, again, for more than a decade. We know who's there. We'll be a part of those efforts, whether we're near or far. We always are, to help our communities rebound from disaster like this. Something to keep in mind, if you do know of someone that's in the immediate area, or if you are impacted us and you haven't yet returned to the area to assess your damages, keep in mind you want to make sure that you do have a charged up cell phone and that you have basic needs with you, because you don't know if you get stuck in these particular areas. Street closures, down power, it happens randomly, and it's ad hoc right now because the government and local agencies, the federal government and local agencies are moving as quickly as they possibly can, working with private agencies as well to do immediate assessments. But as we have seen, you get into an area, you may get stuck, whether it's in traffic, maybe they just start to do a checkpoint and things like that. So make sure you are carrying your basic needs with you so that you have what you need in the event that you do get stuck in these areas for an extended period of time. But again, we tell this to a lot of our clientele. Don't rush back. Allow the local agencies as well as the state and private agencies to get into these areas and to assess it, because you don't want to get in the way of the life safety efforts to making sure that the local communities have what they need, that your neighbors who may have not evacuated and were surprised by the immediate up strength of this storm. And that's what they saw, right? As it came on shore, you saw a major escalation in the reported strength of it. Again, this is early indications. As we have seen in the past, these things can change. And if you do see that immediate upswing in pressure and wind speed, as well as rainfall counts, we've seen some reporting much more significant than they initially thought. That all brings into mind storms like Hurricane Irma and Wilma and Michael and many storms of the past. And again, once the agencies get into those areas of they start to assess these situations. And again, that's where you'll see your road closures and you'll see the relief efforts focusing in on the hardest hit areas and then kind of work their way back from it. But sometimes they can't even get to the hardest hit areas immediately, so they do what they can on the peripheral of it. So again, no need to rush back if you did evacuate, as you should have for a storm like this. But again, I'm sure people got caught off guard, whether you're a business owner, a homeowner, community, center, because that's the uncertainty of these types of storms. That's why we do have the hurricane hunters. They are in and out of these storms to try to give real-time data. The technology that we have today is much better than we had 10 years ago. Just look at your own cell phone. So you can only imagine the amount of investment that has been made in trying to predict where these storms are going to go, and more importantly, how strong they're going to be, so that we can be as prepared as possible. But as we saw here with Francine, again, it's a good lesson, right? And it's an early lesson in this, and we'll see what information comes out of it as we move into the later hours today. And as the storm moves north, they're expecting tremendous amount of rain to continue in, let's call it, the Midwest area as the storm moves north. And then, of course, usually you see it because of the Gulf Stream gets steered more easterly. So again, those that don't think that they're in the path of it, just learn from those in Louisiana that again, these things are unpredictable. So even where it's going to go right now as a tropical depression is being reported right now, it's really important that you do stay focused and vigilant in your preparation. If this is anywhere near you, make sure you are tracking this, because even if it's a tropical depression or gets downgraded to just an area of interest, again, it's bringing a lot with it, a lot of tropical weather, rain, thunderstorms, and a lot of tornadoes. They're reporting a lot of tornadic activity because, again, you're having the shearing from the Gulf Stream and many other meteorologic words and terms, and I'll save that for the meteorologists because I am not one. I watch enough of this to understand what they're talking about, but I certainly don't want to confuse you with my reporting of these things. Pay attention to meteorologists. They're the scientists that are studying these things, but they are reporting and expecting quite a bit of tornadic activity because this thing continues to rotate. And as it does rotate, they are looking for tornadoes to randomly spring up. So again, stay vigilant and persistent in your preparation as this storm moves more northerly, northeasterly, and starts to impact a greater area. But focusing on those the folks that are in the Louisiana that were immediately impacted and surprised by the strength of the storm, again, making sure that your cell phone's charged up is a life safety issue, but also as we start to move into the documenting of the damages, before you even pick up or do anything, take photographs, more important than videos. I understand the desire, a lot of people want to take the video for social media, and the voyeurism, desire kicks into them, and they want to be that on-the-ground reporter. But also remember, as it relates to any sort of type of claim that you're going to be making, whether it's for federal funding or on private insurance, it's important that you do have photographs of every angle, not the ones that you might take for social media, but those that you're going to take for actually presenting your damage for recovery, whether it's through the FEMA flood program or some FEMA relief program, or on private insurance for your home or commercial policy for your business or community association, photographs are key right now. Taking those pictures. Insurance companies know that first 48 to 72 hours is so critically important to any sort of claim, and that goes for any folks that are tuning this that are still watching the tropics for things that may come. We are, again, in the hot time of year where we've seen major escalation in the frequency of storm and the size and intensity. So staying vigilant in your preparation, if you're not in the immediate area, is just key. This is a lesson learned. The unpredictability of these issues is really, really important. Also, too, a lot of your agents and brokers may have left the area. Ironically, though, that's not even who you're probably, I would say, 99% of the time supposed to even report a claim to, pursuant to your insurance policy. There's very few policies we ever see that actually says that the claim should be reported to the agent or broker of record. And the reason for it is because they don't actually manage claims, point blank. They don't have a license to do it. They're not there to do that for you, despite their marketing efforts and whatever they may say when you bought the policy. You're not there to trust your broker to make sure that your claim gets accurately and timely reported. That onus is on you, the policyholder. That's what the contract dictates, is that you, the policyholder, is the one that should be making these claims timely, that should be making it correctly and accurately. It does not say immediately. I've never seen a policy actually say that. I would say that there's a 0% chance that may actually say that in your policy. It says promptly. That's usually the word that's in there. Promptly does not mean immediately in the context of your insurance policy. You do have time to do that. Again, right now the focus is on health, life, and safety. It's not on the things that we're talking as it relates to claims. However, you are there, and a mistake a lot of times that we see with policyholders is that they miss the opportunity to photograph the current conditions of the immediate risk that's been underwritten by insurance, which is your home or your business or a community association or community center or the municipality buildings, whether they're schools or other facilities. Now, that also includes the immediate area around the location of the risk which was underwritten, that you're paying a premium on. That's the neighboring streets, that's your neighbor's property. It's important as you're entering to the area to take pictures of the trees, of the signage that may be down, of the power lines that are blocking the street in the area. Those things are critically important to your claim. Now, again, health, life, and safety is important not only as you're going into the area to make sure that you don't find yourself or become a victim, because that's only going to stress the limited resources of the federal, local, state, and governments, as well as the private agencies going in there. You're adding and compounding the issue. But if you're going to be there, make sure you're documenting the things. If you did not evacuate and you are there, make sure that you're doing these same things as you finally exit your property, and do it safely. If you can't open a certain door, don't try to slam it open. Find another exit, even if it means crawling out a window, but do it safely, obviously. And if you are going to crawl out the window, look below before you just simply put your foot down, because maybe the waters haven't receded and you may find yourself knee deep in water. Again, I say these things only because we have witnessed them themselves, and people make these mistakes. And I caution people when they rush back into the area, they think that they need to immediately report a claim. And there's concern that if they don't report the claim today, that they're going to get in a little long line. By the way, you're going to get in a line no matter what. And unfortunately, that's not how we see insurance companies. You react to claims. Just because you reported it first doesn't mean the adjuster's going to be there first. In fact, the insurance companies won't even send their people into those areas until they see that a federal, if not state or local government, has said that it is safe to go into those areas. Even though you are a resident and you have a right to go into certain areas, the insurance companies may not, because they don't possess IDs to get there. So think about it. If you're rushing to report your claim and there's a roadblock that limits your access to the area, believe me, they're not going to go there, even if they have an insurance adjuster's license to show to the roadblock. I will tell you that immediate relief efforts are the focus, and those relief efforts include allowing local homeowners or business owners into those areas so they can help and assess their own properties. But most often, again, only for health, life, and safety issues. If your business or home has been heavily damaged, you got to be concerned about even entering the property, because There may have been heavy water in that property and you could get electrocuted, or something could fall on you. We see these types of incidents reported all the time. So again, I implore you to be cautious, to be patient, but yet persistent in the way in which you address these your claim reporting. So persistence doesn't mean immediate reaction to it. Don't try to report the claim from afar saying, oh, I'm told by my neighbor my property has been damaged. Again, you have time to do these things. So be patient with it. And again, don't underplay your situation because your neighbor says your house isn't as bad as the other one, okay? It is your home. It is your loss and damage. There's no reason to attach some creative adjective to these things that's not as bad, or it's okay, or it's better than the other, or creating some sort of comparative analysis when you actually have not fully assessed the situation. You're only hurting your claim at that point in time. So be cautious, take your time, focus on health, life, and safety, and do what's appropriately detailed in your policy, which is to accurately and promptly report a claim to your insurance company or a third-party administrator. I don't want to get overcomplicated in this broadcast on the Recovery Report Live. I want you to make sure that you are doing what is required of you with regards to your insurance claim as pursuant to the policy. Don't listen to your agent and broker. And I know that they may want to quote help you, or I'm air quoting that. Again, look at the contract. If you don't have a copy of it yet, wait for it. And in fact, if your agent or broker wants to report to claim for you, but they can't furnish you a policy, it's a good question as to how are you going to report my claim if you don't have my insurance? Oh, we know who your insurance company is. Well, great. Give me that information. Okay, give me that information because I want to speak to the insurance company. I want to make sure that the insurance company has the information they need. Now, they may offer it as a quote-unquote service, but again, that's not their role in insurance. Their role in insurance is to sell you a product. It's not to help you manage a claim despite everything they may say to you. In fact, most claims we see that end up in some sort of dispute or underpayment, it has to do with the inaccurate reporting of the broker or agent who later on says, well, that's what I was told, but then there's no record of what they were told. And again, they're looking at a lot of times they're the ones attaching some comparative analysis or some adjectives that are totally, entirely unnecessary in the reporting of the claim. Again, don't underplay your damages. They're your loss and damage. Your risk has been damaged, and it is of utmost importance to you, regardless of where they put you in the pecking order as to inspecting it and assessing your own damages. Again, we are here to help you. That's what GlobalPro has done for more than a decade. We, in fact, have an entire foundation, GlobalPro Cares Foundation, dedicated to doing that. We understand the importance of doing it. So let us know how we can help you. GlobalPro.com. Check us out on social media if you're on it, looking for initial reportings for your area or what's going on or where the storm is going. We understand that a lot of people do get their news from social media. It's an okay thing. We think it's great. We report there too as well. But let us know, DM us, message us, hit us up on X, hit us up on Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn. We are there, Facebook. We have all those channels open. We are monitoring those things, looking at it as well, because a lot of times we get good reporting from people who post pictures or videos of immediate areas where we know our clients, longstanding clients, have assets that may be at risk or may have been damaged by this major storm. So let us know how we can help you. Reach out to us. Again, the phone number right there, 855-487-7475. Check us out online at globalpro.com and tune in again every single week, same time, same place, right here on the Recovery Report Live.